Welcome to Tolleson Mack. We are still here at Las Vegas Convention Center. It's been a busy day. We've got some footage, but we have a two-time podcaster now.
Two-time. Get an award.
Some sort of a buckle, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that. Well, we offered to pay Cody Snow's fines tonight if he got any fines, because we told him if he won the round to sign his hat and throw it, and he's like, well, I'll get fined. Brandon's like, well, we'll pay the fine.
Oh.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Okay, well, what's my price?
Let's see. If you get any fines tonight by the PRCA, we'll look at paying those, right? So yeah, 2 times on the podcast. This is Tara Hill. Her and her husband are Hill Cattle Company, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and they provide all the rope and steers. Now, I was corrected earlier. You do not provide the bulldog and steers.
No, we do not.
You do not.
Nope.
Is there a reason for that, or it's just not your game, or?
The only set of bulldoggers that we own, we have about 15, and we send them to just amateur rodeos during the year, and that's it. We don't have a set of PRCA. We were in the bulldogging business for a while, and it's a pain in the ass, and so we eventually just sold out. JJ Miller kind of took over all of our contracts, so he's the bulldogging man for us.
So why is it a pain in the ass? Probably because they have to be big, stout Mexican steers.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And these guys, like we just had Clayton Haas on here, and he was telling us that they really don't like bulldogging reject team roping steers.
Yeah, and team ropers don't like team roping old bulldogger steers, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, so it's as much as it seems the same, it's a lot different.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different, and I mean, like, you can only take so many ass chewings before you're like, you know what, I'm just going to stick to one.
Well, you have to weigh out the ass chewings. Okay, I'm getting paid this, got this many ass chewings. When this number over here gets bigger than this number, I'm out.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nothing against the bulldoggers or anything. It's just not our deal. The person that we subcontract out for these big rodeos and stuff, he's a bulldogging guy. Like, he talks to all of them. He's got the guys that go through them and all that stuff, and we don't have that. So it's just a lot easier for us to stay in the team roping lane.
How's the team roping lane treating you?
It's busy, very busy. And then for some reason this year, my husband decided that we were going to start producing amateur rodeos.
Oh, okay.
So now we own bucking bulls.
I was just going to say, you got bucking bulls, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had horses, but you got bulls.
We got bulls and horses. We just bought one over there at South Point a while ago.
Oh, really? What'd you get?
We bought some little mare. She's not that good. I mean, she's fine for amateur rodeo. She's not like some big standout.
Get anything else there?
No.
Did they have some good stuff?
They did. They had some really good stuff. They had one bull that went for like 205.
Was he the bull of the year last year?
Yeah, that guy. And I think they had a reserve on him, so I don't even know if he actually sold or not, but they had some standouts.
That's pretty awesome that it went 205, because I told Brandon, I said, hey man, they're selling the bull of the year from last year at that bull sale. I said, we'll be podcasting. I said, but I bet you that bull goes for 200,000. And yeah, 205. That's pretty wild, but I mean, that's kind of the evolution, right? And I'm sure that you guys are feeling the pain of what cattle cost right now, just like the rest of us, right?
Yes. And it's, well, so I'll put it like this. So because the team roping steers are costing so much, but we're also getting so much for them when we cut their heads off. That's so true. It's really not, I mean.
Well, and you're cheapening them back.
Yeah.
By roping them.
Yeah. Compared to when they cost, I'm going to say we suffered more when they cost $750 and we could only sell them for about $300 or $400 than right now when they're costing so much, but we can also sell them for so much when we kill them.
Yeah. And how about the crunch of them shutting the border down?
You know, there's such an echo in here.
No, it's crazy. And I don't know, like, Craig is a magician with this stuff, and he says he can fix it. So we're going to go with Craig's.
Okay. So for us, or maybe it's just my voice that carries so bad.
Your voice does carry. I'll give you that. It does carry.
So for us, we've been crossing cattle for so long, the border shuts down randomly all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually, it might be a month, it might be a couple weeks, it might be 2 months. So for us, it's not that big of a deal. They said, we've got a load over there right now. And they said, we'll probably end up getting them the beginning or middle of January. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know what business I'm in, And I think it's more political than has anything to do with any screw worm or whatever the hell they're claiming they found, because the box beef import is not shut down.
No.
Just the live cattle.
Yeah. And like people are asking me, especially on like TikTok, they're like, what about the tariffs? What about the tariffs? Whenever Trump was in office 4 years ago, I don't think there was a tariff on live
Well,
animals. I think there was one if they were dead coming across, there was tariff
yeah.
on it. But as far as live beef, I don't think there was ever one put
No,
on
I
there.
don't think there was either. But also and not to get crazy too political on this thing, but he uses that tariff talk to bring people to the table.
Yes.
Is he going to walk in there day one and say, if you buy any more tortillas from Mexico, they're going to cost 25% more? No, he's using that as a tool to get these people to the table where we can work it out to where everybody makes money.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see it is. And as far as the border shutting down the live cattle import, I mean, I think it goes a little deeper. I think it probably has to do with, some of them Mexican slaughterhouses have to come over here and buy cattle that we've fed and bring back over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they keep those cattle in Mexico, they don't got to buy them at American prices.
Exactly.
So there's some more stuff, but that shit gets boring and nobody wants to listen to that. Let's talk TikTok.
Okay.
So how's the TikTok fame going?
It's going. So I hate to say fame because all I do is really like people are like, oh my gosh, I had people stop me yesterday and they wanted to take a picture with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't do anything. Like anybody can do the exact same thing that I do.
Yes and no, right? Like, yeah, anybody can get a TikTok account and go around and make TikToks, but what you're doing is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like when we get guys on here and I want to talk to them about the shit that nobody knows about. And
Right.
that's what you're putting on your TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Like I got to go get tires on my trailer. I got to get it washed. And then I have to be at this roping by this time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And because the average person sitting at the roping just sees the truck and trailer pull in with no flats and think that that's just how it goes every day.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not it.
Yeah. That was the main reason that I started that TikTok account was I wanted to educate people on what all goes down on the backside of, putting on these team ropings and having all these cattle and things like that. And so I started it and showed them like the process of how we get the cattle from Mexico and then what we have to do with them. And
that's pretty cool to see all that.
Yeah. And and then from there it just blew up. And now heck, anything, I just get my phone out and record it and put it on there. And there's some things that I'm like, oh, that's not going to do nothing. And then next thing like yesterday, me and Trip just getting ready for the day, I videoed that and I think it had like 30 or 40,000 views. And I was like, good gosh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I like that one trend right now where everybody's running and it's like suspect.
Yes.
Something.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Those are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like all across the board when anybody does those. But, I mean, you got to be getting a little backlash.
Oh,
I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You say your kid's feral. I say my kid's feral. That's just kind of how we raise them, right? Because you don't want to have to walk around them with bubble wrap and, oh, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Some people want to raise their kids like that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
We need
but
people.
Don't tell me how to raise mine.
But don't tell you. So what happened? You said your kid was feral, and then you got this comment?
Okay. So on TikTok, they have a TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Well, I can get like TikTok shop sends me samples all the time, and all I have to do is make a video for it, and it's free. So I only request samples that I know that I'm going to use and that I would like. So these samples that I had were, I said, if you have a feral kid, here is ideas for your feral kid or husband or whoever in your life that is feral.
Yeah, because my wife would sit right here and tell you that I'm feral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not nothing bad.
I know. And so I said that, and this lady commented on there, and she was like, I had never used such derogatory term with my children. What you speak about them is how they feel. And I was just like,
well, your kid probably also needs a litter box.
Yeah. And so then I, of course, had to make a comeback reply video.
Can't help it.
No, I couldn't help it at all. And I basically told her that I was like, we want our kids to be feral. Like, we want them to, go outside, run around barefoot, hunt fish. I mean, my kid runs around. Half the videos I can't put on TikTok of him because he's not wearing clothes. So
See, he's gonna be a wild man. Probably
Yeah.
end up being like a bullfighter at the NFR,
Oh, I'm scared to death.
right?
I know.
It's probably because his mom treated him feral his whole life.
And he's not I mean, I hope that he wants to be like the funny man, because then,
That's fine.
just get a paycheck every time. And
Yeah, that's kind of what you do though when you like get to my age and you're just old and you used to do that stuff. So I'm gonna be a funny man
I
now.
know, but gosh, he can come up with some stuff off the top of his head, and he is not afraid to talk to anybody, and he is not afraid to get out
Hey,
there.
let me tell you that's a good quality because it's obviously turned into me a podcast hosting job because I was the same way. I could just talk to anybody about anything, and I think a lot of that has to go to my mom and dad because they packed us everywhere with them.
Yep.
I mean, I knew everybody at John Deere, I knew everybody at Napa, I knew everybody everywhere we went
Yeah.
because they just took us and packed us everywhere. I don't know, maybe they didn't have babysitters. I don't know.
I know, and that's what he goes everywhere with us, and he meets all these people. And I will say the only downfall to him is that he's so many people are not used to a kid walking up, and he's 10. So they're not used to a 10-year-old walking up and carrying on a whole conversation with them. So he ends up coming home with either caps and t-shirts and bucking, I mean, like making deals with people on bucking horses and bucking bulls. And like when I left South Point a while ago, him and Danny Reagan were flipping quarters for $20 a
There you go.
flip. And like he looked at me, he goes, "Mom, I already got $65 off of Danny." I was like, "Good
See,
job."
he's learning how to be a man though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's learning how to be a man. There's absolutely, and well, I mean, I don't know, take my advice, but there's nothing wrong with that. We need more people like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of him. I mean, he's a good kid. So Farrell is you, and I told him
That's not derogatory.
no.
Where I come from, you come from, we come from. That's not derogatory, I don't think. But I guess my point is, it's getting back to social media, right? Some lady somewhere, and I'm not just bagging on this lady. It happens all the time, but somebody somewhere has a comment to make, but they number one would never make it to you in person.
No.
They would never even come up to you in person.
No.
Or and I'm not saying there would be anything that happened. It just they'll only do it on a keyboard.
Oh yeah, they're keyboard warriors.
Yeah, and then sit way back
Yeah.
and have something more to say. But I think TikTok. I think if people use social media for fun, like the way it was intended in the beginning, it would be just so much better, right? Like TikTok is fun.
It is fun, especially when your
Addicting.
it's terrible, especially when your algorithm gets to like where
You're
it's
seeing the shit you want.
things you want to see.
Yeah.
And so it's just, and it's rewarding for whenever I go somewhere and somebody comes up to me and they're like, like I made a little series about the NFR and like things you need to know if it's your first time going and this and that, and just transportation and things to take and, different things like that. And I've had so many people come up to me and they're like, "We've been sharing your videos in a group chat because this is our first year to the NFR." And I'm like I appreciate that.
That's cool.
That's very rewarding to me.
Yeah, and I mean something like we just bought this big new machine for our processing plant, and I'm like, I'm watching all the videos that come with the machine, and I'm just like, I'm lost. I'm just like, the narrator guy's talking too slow, blah 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 blah. I tell my wife like, I can't get these videos, like I don't understand it. And it was a big enough machine that the manufacturer sent out people to teach us, but I was trying to get in front of that where I kind of half knew what we were doing. She looked it up on TikTok,
Oh no.
found the dude running the machine, sent me the TikTok, and in 15 minutes I was running the machine.
Oh wow.
Because it was like you said, like your tips are like insider tips.
Yeah.
Not like go here and I
Yeah.
don't know. You get some kickback from MGM if you send them over there.
Yeah, it's not an instruction manual anymore.
Yeah.
It's the insider and what to do and what not to do. Because to be honest, like I mean, I'm sure there are people that are getting paid to do certain things and make certain videos, but for the most part, it's just normal people. And then like I get paid by people watching my videos from TikTok. I don't get paid from a company.
From MGM,
Like from
you
a
tell them to go over there.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
made 3 cents earlier.
Hey,
We are pretty proud of that.
There you
Right,
go.
Craig? 3 cents?
that's a start.
That's a solid.
That's a start.
It's better than 0 cents.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you when I started, and finally got like I think you have to have what 10,000 followers to monetize it. For the first 2 years, I think the most that I ever made that whole 2 years was $150.
Yeah, there you go.
And so now it's not much better, but it's
Well,
something.
we do pretty good off of YouTube. Like, YouTube sends us checks or whatever, but like TikTok, Benny was so proud of it. We made 3 cents. We made 3 cents on TikTok.
On our live.
Yeah, on our live, and it's probably because of what got said on that live, and we can't repeat that. Hopefully that doesn't get taken down. I was just proud it wasn't me that said it because I'm usually.
I don't know if the lives, like, are they archived? Or are they just live and
Are
they
they
go
just
away?
gone when they're gone?
Oh, see, I've never gone live
Why not?
because it's the reason why.
You should go live. Yeah, see, capture all the good stuff.
I should have went live right now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That could have worked.
Yeah,
But then my ADD would kick in and I'd be looking and seeing what people are saying, and it probably wouldn't.
So how much of
You need all of my attention, I promise.
how much of that is it? Right? Does it because like I said earlier, it is freaking addicting.
It is addicting.
Like you can sit there. Like if I got an hour to kill, which don't happen too often, but if I got an hour to kill,
yeah.
and I mean some of the stuff people do is funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Like it's some and it makes everybody into what Craig is. This is an editor, right? Like it makes everybody so good. You're like, man, how did that guy do that? He brought the little face in and the little guy dancing. It's pretty cool. Do you do all that, all the editing stuff?
No,
Have a full editing team.
No, it's
Kidding.
just me. It's just me. I mean, if you look at my videos, you can tell that they're just done and posted. There's no editing, no
editing
nothing.
team?
If it was an edit, it's like a little caption at the beginning, like "Come with us to the Buck and Horse and Bull Sale." Then it goes away. That's it.
That's it. How does your husband like TikTok? I never see him on your TikTok.
Well, I tried to make one with him yesterday, and so Trip and I did our little outfits for the day, and then I walked it because we have a. This is gonna sound like we're high rollers, but we're not.
Bougie.
It's because we both have a problem with gambling and we can't stop.
Bougie.
But we have a 2-room suite at South Point.
Of course you do.
So my mother-in-law stays in one, and then we stay in the other one. And anyways, Trip and I were in the bathroom.
It goes back and forth.
Yeah, basically. So Trip and I were in one room, and we were in the bathroom doing our little video. So I walk into the living room little area, and I'm like, "Bob, show us your outfit." And he goes, "I'm not a TikToker." I said, "You're on TikTok right now, scrolling through your phone." He was like, "I'm not doing it." Like, he wouldn't even get up.
Everybody tries to fight it. But like even Brandon, I don't have a TikTok, but every time you get around, hey, let me see your TikTok. And he'll like scroll through the TikTok. I'm like, bro, why don't you just get it? Oh no, it'll take up too much time. But what makes me mad when people don't have TikTok is I find something hilarious on TikTok. I try to share it to them. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, get with the time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like watch the
thing.
Like
get like this guy right here walking in right now does not have TikTok. What is he from 1982?
Boo.
But he got us a cinch banner apparently. Did you get us? You got us a cinch banner?
I should have sent you with my order.
Baby steps.
Does that drink have alcohol in it? Oh.
You want a drink with alcohol in it?
I could use one.
Okay, we'll be right back with the second part of Terra Hill. All right, hey, we're back. Second half. Tolleson Mack, Terra Hill, Hill Cattle Company. She's going TikTok live in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
We're going TikTok live.
We went TikTok live.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're back. Vodka. Vodka and Sprite. With a splash of cranberry.
She's like, vodka. And then that's it. Just vodka. That's okay. All right, here we go. So, yeah, let's talk about running team ropings because we were bullshitting about that in the middle.
Yes.
And you said you could run 60 to 70 teams an hour.
Because I'm mean.
Because you're mean.
Yes.
Okay.
But explain I also talk really fast. So I've been announcing team roping since I was 18, and I'm 39.
Okay.
If y'all want to know my age.
Couple years.
So I've just gotten where I can just roll. I mean, one team out, next team in, next team right in the box, no time. I usually try to put off cutoff time in the first round so we can just roll on through. And then what's helped like with our team ropings, we have a lot of people that will come just because they know that we're running the books.
Hey,
because I've been to some.
I'm that guy.
I've been to some where Like it's their first team roping and this is their first,
Yes.
their help. It's their first time. And if I go out of the roping, I'll go up there and be like, do you want me to announce for you?
Yeah.
Just so we can get this on the road and done.
There's something to be said for that because I would rather pay, and I mean, not trying to be stupid, but I would rather pay twice the entry fee and have half the guys.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I love the rope, but I got shit to do.
Yeah.
So like if I can just sneak over here and rope in one like 50, 60 guys, boom, we're out of here. In like where we're at right there, Arizona Buckeye, Wickenburg, I mean, there's not a roping that has 50 or 60 guys. I mean, it's 200, 300, 400 teams.
Yeah, now you got everybody from everywhere else there.
Everybody from everywhere else, and half of them haven't really been to a lot at my level, haven't been to a lot of team roping, so they're over here playing touch butt in the park, and first call, second call, third call, and it's like, dude, you're here to rope.
Yeah, and
like, pay attention.
You know what? Now they have an app that shows when you're supposed to rope.
Up. And I mean, everybody and their brother has an app except for Brandon doesn't have TikTok, but I'll tell you, we're TikTok live.
I know.
What's going on?
12 people watching us.
12 people watching TikTok live.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody's.
Y'all got any? Oh dang, we've had quite a few. Y'all got any questions?
Any questions for the queen of the rope and steers? Yeah. Do they give you that name or anything? Like you're the queen of the rope?
No, you know what everybody calls me?
Uh-oh.
They say, oh, you're TikTok Tara.
There you go.
I was like, I guess.
I see some merch.
I mean, it's been worse. Like I've been called a lot worse. I've been called lots of bad things. So I'll take TikTok Tara any day.
But you got to be tough.
I do. It used to bother me a lot. Like it used to really bother me what people thought. And now, no.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. I mean,
it seems like once I cross that like 30 plus age mark, then
once you start signing the front of the checks and not the back.
Yeah.
You gotta, what I mean? You gotta stop worrying about what other people think. It just takes so much extra energy to worry about that. You know? And especially in your business. Because half the time when a guy says a steer shitty, he sucked. Or he didn't do something right.
Yeah.
And then he's going to blame your steer. I watched it when Brandon had all them steers. I'm like, you're over here bitching about that steer, dude. You were about 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
And, that steer's too fast. Or they break out and then they're on top of them and the steer stops. It's like.
And if the steer does suck, I mean, and you say it sucks, I'll say it sucks. We pull him off. You can usually get a rerun. I mean, I'm not the flag man too, but if the flag man says you deserve a rerun, then get a rerun.
How about the flag man's job?
God, that's something I would not ever want to do.
Brandon, what's a flag man get paid?
Not enough.
$1.50 a run.
Used to be like 50 cents a run, I think.
Really? Yeah, that is not enough money for the bitching. And I mean, like Brandon said this before on here, but we've seen at Ropins where our friend is a flagman, Dustin, and he'll flag somebody out. And then, 15 minutes later, that guy will go into the stands, get his wife's phone that videoed the run and run over and show Dustin.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you want me to do now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's trial and error. Did they put replay in at the finals?
I heard they did.
I heard they did too.
So, I mean, I'm going to say, here's who I'm going to predict is going to be the first one that uses that replay.
Ready, Craig? You got this, right?
Wesley Thorpe will be the first one that uses the replay.
Ding.
He always pushes the limit, and I'm gonna say, who do y'all think is gonna be the first one that uses the replay in the team roping? Let us know.
In team roping,
I say Thorpe.
Let's see. Yeah, I gotta say.
I mean, but really and truly, that's the only thing that you're really gonna use it for is crossfire and mark out rule, right? What else would it be? I mean, I guess
mark out rule though to me is so blatant. I mean,
you
got to judge on each side of the bronc. So my problem with the crossfire rule is the judge is on the wrong side to call the call. If he was at the buck and shoot,
right,
he could make the crossfire call.
True.
That's what I think. I mean, they could have did this whole thing without replay because, we've been talking to guys all day long, and Colin Bonan was telling us more than 30 seconds in the box and it's a fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that because they want to get people out of there and back in the casinos, correct?
They even fine the pickup men if they go and like change out a rope or change out a horse. If they're not back in their spot within like I think it's 45 seconds, they get fined.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And how does that even work? Because now you're going to have replay. You don't think replay is going to take longer than 45 seconds?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know.
I mean,
We're gonna see. I'm glad they put it in. I guess
I don't know. I'm not
for the crossfire deal, but I do think it's gonna.
What are your feelings on the crossfire rule?
You know, it's hard at the NFR because
just in general, like should they have crossfire or should they not have crossfire?
I think there should be some type of crossfire because it's either the steer has to be,
in tow,
or first single hop, or the steer has to make the switch. Mm-hmm. I think the steer should have to make the switch before you throw. That should be it. I don't think it should be a legal hop. I think the steer should make a switch and throw.
Yeah,
the steer should go from this way
to
that way, and you can put your rope down there.
Yeah, I think it was at the BFI that they pulled the crossfire rule, right?
Yes,
that got real boring. Because I mean, a guy that usually sits at this table with me could hit him running straight down the arena all day long before the header even roped him.
Yeah, especially if you rope goats, you get really good at doing
right? That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, that takes, I'm beating a dead horse, but the average fan like me, I want to see the hill horse work. And that's taking the whole turning in there, getting a hold of them and setting the horse down.
Yeah. But that's where you get from, rodeo to horse show to futurity to, like you go to the futurity horse show, you get to watch all these heel horses and they work. You go to rodeo and you're just trying to see who's going to be the fastest time ever.
Talk about Dakota Kirkenslogger standing up out there and just ripping one back. If there was no crossfire rule, that wouldn't be that cool to watch because he'd rope them going straight down the arena.
True. Oh, that's good.
It's pretty tasty with vodka.
Yeah, I thought. Aren't you supposed to have ice in that?
I was supposed to. It's okay. He's a new waitress. Yeah, he's a new waitress. We're still gonna tip him well though. So what's up and coming for the Tik Tok Terra / Hill Cattle Company?
I really don't. It's just the same thing.
Amateur rodeos.
Yeah, we've got some amateur rodeos this year. They're all in Texas.
Where?
So the biggest one that we have is Teague 4th of July Rodeo. And we had that rodeo this year. And the slack, we got done with the slack on Friday night as the sun was coming up the next morning.
Really?
Yes.
Craig, what room are we in?
Yeah, 229. And so as the sun was coming up, we finished slack that morning. We had 102 breakaway ropers just in the slack, just for that night. And we had 2 nights of slack. First night of slack, we got done at 4 a.m.
Let's talk about that $1 million breakaway. I've not talked about that one time today with anybody that's came on here. But how about that? Because last year, where you were at with us over there at MGM, Fred came on with me. And Fred Whitfield told me, I asked him, I said, what's it going to take to get the breakaway in the NFR? And he said, you're not going to be able to push your way in there. He said, what you're going to have to do is put on a breakaway somewhere, anywhere, that is so big that the NFR is going to want you. And I think that's what Kimes did because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, especially getting the entertainment in there because I think that drew a lot of people. Here's my deal. I have nothing against breakaway ropers. I have been a breakaway roper. I still rope breakaway every once in a while. So I am a breakaway roper for all of y'all listening.
Yeah.
But sometimes they take so long in the box that I'm just like, we've got to do better. And I know that there's so many factors, these calves, these horses, everything has to be this and that. But there comes to a point to where you're either going to have to take that calf as it is or say, let the calf out and give me an extra or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything for it.
That's so tough though. I mean, like when them girls, I watched a girl rope one in like 173 or something like that. So, I mean, if you don't take them when they're perfect,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
It takes you out of it.
Like we talked to,
But and I think that's one big deal that the NFR is like, we just have to make sure that these, it's within the time limit. And I don't know if they're going to think that it's not.
what's going on over there on TikTok Live?
They said, I think it'll be like the World Series finale with the judges watching replays before it's even challenged. Oh, that's good. Dustin Camphouse, you are a smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Probably so. They might even.
Did anybody else say Wesley Thorpe? Hollywood. Hey, who do you think's going to be the first one to challenge for replay? Because they got replay this year. Yeah, I do too.
Somebody said Paul Eves.
Yeah, Derek ain't going to care.
Yeah, Wesley, he pushes it pretty good. And I've seen, like, I've been at some rodeos, like just in the slack, sitting in the stands in the mornings, like watching slack and stuff, and he'll rope, and I'll be like, ooh, like it's even on me. I'm like, ooh, that's close. And they either give it to him or they flag him out.
I don't know. I think them good guys just got to push that envelope. Yeah, exactly. How about that? They should have never let me have that position.
That's another thing with social media is like everybody's just can say whatever they want to
just
now.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
And
whatever you want. I will give it to Shad. He came on last week and he's right in line with how I feel about how the PRCA treats some of these guys. I think that some of these guys, I'm not whining for them or whatever. I just think they should be treated a little better. Like when they get here, like the top 15 when they get here, because basically you're here, I'm here, he's here, everybody's here because of those top 15 guys in the world.
Yep.
Right? We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Correct.
And so the way I look at it, they're the band that you're coming to see at the bar. The band gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, these guys go out 30,000 a night. Yeah, cool. But how many times have you heard probably the same old story? Shit, I left Vegas with less money than when I got there.
I say that every single year.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a lot
of
these guys,
I know. 100%. I agree.
You know,
they
when
should
they
get
leave, it's like,
and I don't know if you should give those Cowboys a big check when they get here.
When they leave.
Or when they leave.
When they leave.
Or just give them little increments at a time. Be like, every 4 days you come check in, I'll give you a check.
A draw. They'll get a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard. I mean, and that's the deal is like we all party like rock stars and especially for team ropers, we all have an addiction to, gambling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing. You're gambling.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't win, you just keep entering. Whether it be at a slot machine, at a table, or in an arena.
So you've said a few things that I think you're missing out on some merch opportunities. TikTok Terra. And
nobody would want that merch.
If you don't win, just keep entering.
Yeah, if you don't win, just keep entering.
I mean, that sounds to me
that is terrible life advice.
Yeah, but I mean, sounds like a great shirt.
It's terrible life advice. Because you'll be like some of these people out here on Fremont Street living in a little shopping cart.
Living below Vegas. You ever see those videos on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
Well, are you going to the first round?
No, I'm going to go Monday. I can only go about once, maybe twice.
Yeah. Well, where are you headed?
Bob goes every night. So my feral kid's here, so he's got to, I have to babysit. Well, I don't have to babysit.
Feral kid. Let's just throw that in as many times as we can.
I don't have to babysit him, but I have to make sure that he stays away from the slot machines because I already almost got kicked out of South Point last night because he was by the blackjack table. And somebody ended up giving him a $100 chip. See, that's what I'm talking about.
See, but I would do the same thing. If I seen him right there, I'd be like, here you go.
Yeah, somebody gives him...
Go live your life.
Yeah, so I have to go make sure that he doesn't get kicked out of South Point.
But think about how good he's going to be when he takes over Hill Cattle Company.
Or he's going to be an addictive gambler.
It can be both. All of us got issues to have a business. You have to.
It just runs in the family.
You know, there's nothing wrong with
it. It is bred in him. It's bred in him.
We all believe in breeding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
right. Well,
is this your next?
This is it. This is Hollywood
Oh,
This
cool.
is Sherry Yates.
Awesome.
His
Hi.
wife. That's when she walked in, I wanted to play Champ is here. Champ is here. Yeah. So cool. I appreciate you.
Well, glad to be
Second
back
time.
for the second year.
Second year in a row.
Yep.
Thank you. We'd love to have you, and all the boys talk highly about your steers.
Thanks.
I talk highly about your TikTok. They talk highly about your TikTok.
Well, you know, one thing is that, like, if people complain, I'm like, look, we bought the steers, and then we took them to Caleb's house.
Exactly. And you know what?
Caleb broke them in, and Caleb and all of them picked them. So
yeah, all the guys.
I'm putting the blame on them if they did mess up. But it's an animal, so I'm not putting the blame on anything. It's an animal; it has its own mind.
We knew you were coming, right? So I was asking, what do you think about steers? Because I was trying to get somebody to dog on them, right? So I could be like, fucking Cody Snow was talking.
They're probably like,
about your steers, right?
Talking to Tara later. I ain't talking to you.
So they weren't gonna say nothing. But no, they all said that. They said, they went to Jiggers, and then they went to the Jingle Bell, right?
Yep, went to the Jingle Bell.
Yeah.
They sent 88 to the Jingle Bell, and
I watched the Jingle Bell.
Yeah, then they cut it down to 60. And so I do want to say one thing about one steer, and this was on TikTok. I was talking about Hereford steer, and I had just said one little thing about him. Well, then everybody started commenting, and they were like, where's the Hereford? Where's the Hereford? Where's the Hereford? So we've got one steer, and every year that we've sent cattle to the NFR, this is, I think, our 7th or 8th year, and number 60 has been a Hereford. Every single set on every single year. And that steer, number 60, the number 60 has probably won the most money out of all the team roping steers at the NFR.
And there's a 60 here this year.
Yes, and he's a Hereford. He's not a true Hereford. He doesn't have a white. He doesn't have a white line down his back, but he's big red, bald face, stocking legs, white belly. He just doesn't have like the white line going down his back. So he's number 60, and he's out. I think he's out tonight. So he'll go 4 times, and they said that he's one of the best.
I'm watching him.
So
I'm watching him. We put money on him.
Somebody can.
I'll bet you $100 that they don't win the most money on him.
That they don't? Which one do you think they're going to? There's a white. I'm going to tell you what. There's the one. I'm just
betting against the Hereford because everybody's betting for the Hereford.
Oh, the one that I'm putting my money on is there's a white, old school, true looking Mexican steer. He's got just a few little black points on him, and his horns curl up. He's got kind of long, shaggy hair, and he runs straight down the pen, head up. And when you crack him over, he just looks like a hobby horse. Yeah.
That's the one they're going to win the most on?
And whenever you watch team roping, when you see him come out, you'll be like, that's that steer she's talking about.
I bet you $100 they don't win that much on him.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
TikTok Live.
All right, we'll see you.